Hello everyone, this will be the review of game Chime Sharp, and the key was provided by developer. The game is supposed to be music game, but I failed to understand how the music is supposed to work. All I know is that it has some tracks and that whatever you do in game kinda changes the music, but the real goal of the game is to do something very similar to Tetris, and I just find the music to be distracting. I'm not sure how it affects the gameplay. I don't think it does. I think it's just a sound thing, but it doesn't really add anything to the core gameplay of the whole gameplay loop. So options don't even have any regulation of sound, so I decided to switch it off completely using Mixer. I'm just going to show you the gameplay, which is the core. So you do pretty much this. You go to a track, and you're supposed to fill the entire map, well, we can call it map, I guess, with blocks. The blocks work very similar to Tetris, but well, I'm gonna show you. So yeah, you have those 2 minutes of some track. I don't know the tracks, by the way, and you keep putting those pieces. Well, I don't know why it doesn't go all the way to the right. Maybe because it's in a window. Right, you put them like this, and whenever you make 3 times 3 square, well, it doesn't have to be a square, it could be a rectangle, you kinda get score and you cover a little bit of the map, and when you cover enough map you unlock new tracks and new modes for the game. But generally speaking, that's what you do. You always have to make a rectangle. Like here we should have, now that there will be 3 times 3, right, we get points here, and it covers a little bit of the map. The bar at the bottom goes up, and we get this coverage higher, right? So like this goes up, and we are a little bit further towards the new track and the new level. And that's the gameplay. It says that when you put those pieces on the board, they act as nodes, but I'm not sure how it's this supposed to add anything to the game, because what you really do, you cover this area, right? You cover the area and you try to make those 3 times 3. As you can see, I'm failing here because I have 2 times 2. Now it's not enough, but now that we'll have one, right? We now have a rectangle. As I said, doesn't have to be a square, could be a rectangle. So you do stuff like this, and it keeps adding more and more elements that are considered covered, and it should increase our percentage. And when the percentage is high enough, you unlock either a mode or a new track. And I was pretty much doing just that all the time. That's the whole thing that I was able to discover, doing this as long as I have to unlock new track, and then do pretty much the same thing with different music, which doesn't really do anything. Well, it's there, but it's kind of distracting, and you can't regulate the loudness of the music, which is weird for a music game. Not sure how it is music. For me, it's just Tetris, and well, maybe that's not exactly Tetris. It's something very similar to Tetris, but I'm failing to see how the music is supposed to make it better or something different. It's just filling the board with random shapes, and if you do it fast enough, you unlock new mode. There is also another mode where you have lives. I didn't understand how you lose them, but apparently you don't have a timer there. I tried to play it, but I don't get it. Maybe I can show you in a moment. Right. So it's just gonna probably stop in a few seconds. Might get some more. Apparently, if you have started a rectangle and the timer ends, you get a little bit time more. So you can kind of prolong it, but not for a lot. Usually, eventually it ends. Like, I'm almost done here. I'm almost lost. One more rectangle here. I'm lacking the ability to put anything in there. Not sure exactly how it works here. Do you get some points? I guess you get more points if you do it on the same spot, but at the same time you should cover as much as possible. That's the main goal. Right, so I lost, right? Maybe I won, I'm not sure. Did we unlock anything? No. We got 37% coverage, did nothing, right? If I go now to something else, like this, we have this other mode. It's called Sharp. So now it has those 10 lives, which you apparently lose somehow. And you basically do the same, right? You just put those pieces together, trying to get another rectangle. Apparently at some point you will lose those HP points. Maybe you will be smarter than me, because I'm not. I kinda like the first mode more because I get it. I don't get this one. Right, so still we're kinda doing it, right? Maybe something dropped, but I'm not sure what dropped. I think a score dropped. When I played before, I kinda died at some point. I have no idea why and how, so that's why I'm confused by this mode. But as you can see, so far it works. We should of course get again 60% at least. Maybe if we get less, we also unlock something. Not sure. Not sure exactly what's the requirement. It doesn't say. Sometimes it says 60%, but I was getting new tracks having less than 60, so I don't really understand it. But apparently, if you are doing well, you unlock more elements, and you have eventually all the tracks and all the modes available. And generally, it's a rather short game. Each run is rather short, so it's not probably gonna be very long. Not much gameplay unless you wanna really go for score. But if you just want to unlock everything, probably not that long. Depending, of course, how good you are. Alright, so I think I'm losing those lives. They just have weird color. The red ones. I think I have 4 now out of 10. Not sure when I lose one. Yeah, now I lost one because something happened. Now I lost all of them. Almost all of them. So eventually somehow you lose those lives. I guess. Maybe something falls or something breaks and then you lose a life and you have to start over like this. So I have no idea how it works. But that's just another mode. And I was good enough to make it to another, so well. I'm kinda stuck with the first mode. I wanted to get more tracks because I wanted to find some track that I know, but apparently I have no idea what those tracks come from. So, well, I just unlocked 4 tracks and that's it. So that's roughly what you do. You do this Tetris thing in a musical environment. Not that the music really affects the gameplay. It's rather your gameplay affects the music. But because I can't regulate it, I wouldn't be able to comment over it. So, well, it just has those weird tracks. And when the wave that goes from left to right hits the pieces that you put, it kind of changes the sound. But I don't know what's the purpose of it. It's pretty much a Tetris game in a different environment. And, well, you don't really put blocks forcefully. Each block that it drops doesn't have to go in a, well, on top of the others. It can go anywhere where you still have place, so it's kind of easier than Tetris. But that's pretty much it. I might play one more, maybe. Maybe the one I completely screwed. Let's see the one I did the worst. Probably the first one. Yes, it's only 18. Let's see if we can make more. So let's just try it. I'm not gonna do practice. I don't think practice makes any sense. Yeah, apparently there's some way to understand this whole life thing. Challenge, no idea. I need to complete standard. Not sure what they mean by complete. Maybe you need 100%. So let's just try to do it. Let's just try to do it any way I can, because now we understand what's the goal of the game, right? First time played, I was like, okay, what's going on? Alright, putting this here, that makes a big rectangle. Let's make it bigger. It's always when there is a rectangle it works. Now it's not gonna work. Not sure what exactly happens when it counts the points. What's now? Can I put something there? No. Yes, now I can put stuff here. Maybe it even gets some bonus. But that's not adding to coverage, right? So what's the point? I don't get it. Maybe it's more points, but it's not more coverage. Alright. So let's try to cover as much as possible. Maybe this makes sense. Alright, so let's do this. Maybe one here, one here, one here. Kinda helps. Maybe. Alright, this should almost form one here. No, I messed up. Alright, whatever. Let's just do it like this. One there. Maybe you can prolong it. Yes, we can. Of course we can. It's rather fast to react, so I'm not doing very well here. Okay, one here, one there. Okay, this makes a rectangle. This is not gonna work. Maybe it's no, I don't think it's better. Probably it's gonna be as horrible as before. Maybe slightly better. I don't know. Okay, this one? Nope, maybe. Yeah, kinda. Yeah, we just did something. And there? Nope, maybe. Yeah, kinda. Yeah, this is gonna make a rectangle. And we lost. No, we didn't. We didn't lose yet. We're close, but not yet. I think this is supposed to add some timer. I'm adding and I'm covering here. Yeah, I wanted to do something in there, but it's not gonna work. But we can do this, right? We can kind of put them like that and it's something in that hole. Yep, like this, and a rectangle. I think it's slightly better, maybe. Maybe it's better. Does it add? Yeah, we got some points, but not much. I'm trying, yes. I think we will get, let's see if we get more time again. Do we? Maybe. Maybe we get. Let's see. No. Probably you get the bonus time a few times, but not endlessly. Yeah, it's better. 38, but it didn't unlock anything. Alright guys, so that's what you do. Not sure how the music adds to the game. For me it was just distracting, so I just switched it off and I was able to unlock another mode and a couple of tracks that I don't know completely. Probably there are some free stuff because those were with rights to the music, they would probably be expensive. Probably it would make sense to add some known music to the game or add a workshop if that is even possible. So far we just have that. Leaderboards, yes, if you want to do a score run, you probably have, yes, you have leaderboards for that. And well, probably 15 tracks with a couple of modes in each. So, well, it's gonna take time if you want to really polish every level. It's just 2 minutes per level, but all the repetitions, all the modes, all the attempts to go for at least 60% or more, probably is gonna clock quite a lot of hours if you wanna absolutely master the game. Generally speaking, it's very similar to Tetris. So if you like Tetris, if you like similar games, this is something slightly different and it might be a little bit satisfying. It works very well, I must say. It's very responsive. I would like definitely a regulation of sound and an ability to put your own tracks into the game. Aside from that, it's just done well. It's hard to really talk about a game that is similar to Tetris because, well, it's so basic, it's so well known that it's even hard to make it wrong. Of course, it works to put a variety of pieces together and form, well, something, like another shape that doesn't have holes in it. So that's basically exactly what Tetris does. It's very, very well known, probably one of the most known games in existence. It's probably a little bit easier and gives you more, well, freedom, I would say, because in Tetris you are very forced to just go line after line, and if you screw up, it very quickly ends. And here you can try to use the entire area and kind of strategize and put the pieces, thinking about where you put the next one. It's quite fun to play for a short time, but I wouldn't play it for a longer period, because I got bored after a couple of attempts. After like 5 or 10 games, I was done with it. But if you like this sort of stuff, it kind of works well. I would give it 6 out of 10, because it's doing the concept properly. I wouldn't say it adds a lot because of the music. I don't see really the connection between music and Tetris, but it's there if you are interested. Um, I would mostly focus on just the Tetris element, just the putting pieces together, which is a little bit satisfying in an odd way, as it always have been with Tetris. Um, so I think it's slightly above average in this very strange genre and group of games, Tetris-like. Probably because of the amount of modes and additional challenges, additional types of maps, and it's not just one Tetris game that goes faster and faster. It has slightly different modes and slightly different playground, because it has those holes, right? So you can't put those shapes everywhere. It's slightly different, so it's a bit more, it's a notch more than just pure Tetris game. Music, in my opinion, adds nothing. I'm not sure why it's supposed to be a music game, what it's supposed to do. For me, it just distracts from doing something else. So I don't get it, but maybe for someone who is more into music, who is maybe a musician, will understand it. I don't get it. I think if a track is a track, then well, you just listen to a track, and if you alter the track, then you just make some sort of cacophony, and it doesn't really make much sense. But if someone is into this, then maybe they can try to put those shapes in a specific way and make some sort of music out of it, but I couldn't. So yeah, it's done quite properly, aside from the fact that you can control the voice or the sound in a music game, which is very weird. But aside from that, I really had no problems with it. It's just slightly above average, of course, in this particular genre, because well, it's a very strange genre. It would be hard to compare it with something completely different, some completely different game. But for a sort of Tetris clone, it's slightly more creative and just technically done right. So 6 out of 10. That was Chime Sharp. A slight recommendation if you're very interested in this particular type of games. And I'll see you guys in the next review.